Good evening. Good evening, everybody. All right, good evening. This is a special meeting of the Bridgeport Board of Education, a community forum, one of 4 community forums, too close here. I want to first thank you all for coming out. We are starting the meeting at 6:06 for the record, and today's July 9th. So the purpose of this forum is the Board of Education will be, in the near future, creating a strategic plan with the superintendent's office. And that's going to be down the line. But at this point, we do want to start gathering community input for the vision that parents, community members, students, teachers, staff have for Bridgeport Public Schools. So the Board of Education, like I said, will be holding 4 forums this month. And today we have Faith Villegas, who is going to facilitate this forum for us. Before I get started, I do want to introduce the board, or have board members introduce themselves. They're going to just say their name, role, and years on the board. I'll start with Jennifer Perez. I'm the chairperson, and I've been on the board for going on 2 years now. If you have a microphone at your desk.
Joseph Holloway, Bridgeport Board of Education, 7-year member vice chair.
My name is Rob Traber. I was appointed to the board in March of 23 when there was a vacancy.
Mr. Albert Benehan, I'm the Secretary of Communications. I'm going for 6 years as the board, and I'm here for help and support parents, students, and staff. Thank you.
Andre Woodson, I've been on the board for a little under 2 years, and just
Maritza Stramera Jimenez. I have been on the board for a few months now. Thank you.
Willie Medina, been on the board about 1.5 years, and I chair the Personnel and Policy Committee.
Thank you. I didn't see any other board members here. Like I said, we really want to just gather your input for this forum. And so Faith's going to explain the process, I guess. So I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you. She let me use it, so I went with the flow. But good evening, and thank everyone for coming out tonight. My name is Faith Villegas. I'm the Executive Director of the Bridgeport Public Education Fund, and part of our role in the community is to do exactly what we hope to do tonight, is bring community together to really think about what is the best direction forward for our students, but also to ensure that the community voice is heard. So tonight, thank you to your Board of Education members for allowing space for community to make their voices heard, as it will inform a part of the strategic plan that they would undergo with the superintendent's office, but also I believe it's connected to some of the Connecticut State Department of Education wish lists for us to move into a more prosperous category as we move forward as a community and as a district. So tonight, what we would like to do is, for one, we have Eunice. I'm sorry, Eunice, I don't know your last name. Eunice Rosa, and she will be your Spanish language translator tonight. So for anyone needing those services, please feel free and welcome to come in. And would you like to translate what I just said? Thank you.
Hola, mi nombre es Eunice Rosa. Si alguien necesita interpretación de inglés a español, yo le puedo ayudar. Así que me pueden ver aquí en la esquina y yo le puedo dar un dispositivo y puedo interpretar todo lo que dicen a español.
So tonight, Ms. Eunice, don't go too far. I'm going to need you one more time. So tonight, what we would like to do is have you all sit with your Board of Ed members at a table, and this is the opportunity again for your voices to be heard. They are going to be individuals who are listening to you. They are curious and anxious, as I've understood, to really get feedback about the vision of the district and how you as parents, proud community members, would like to assist in ensuring that we are putting our best foot forward and getting this district moving in the right direction. So what we will have you do is, for one, really think about, do you want to translate first? Or
Oh, yeah.
okay. I can talk really fast, so.
Bienvenidos al foro comunitario. Lo que queremos es oír el punto de vista de nuestros miembros de la comunidad para que así compartan su punto de vista con la Junta de Educación. Están ansiosos de oír todo lo que ustedes tienen que decir sobre de las cosas que ustedes piensan que debemos hacer para mejorar las escuelas públicas de Bridgeport. Así que lo animamos, si tiene alguna pregunta, si quiere compartir cualquier pensamiento, que venga a hablar con nosotros.
She made it sound so much more exciting when she translated it. Oh my goodness. But so tonight we're going to have everyone go into small group sessions or small group tables, and one board member will be sitting at each table. So please don't crowd all of the tables. We have a full room tonight. But if you happen to sit with one or two board members, that is okay. But again, the purpose is to have open dialogue. We will have that for about 30 minutes. Okay, and once you are ready to come back into the full group, we would like for you to share out. So in order to do that, we need volunteers for two things. We need a table captain. So primarily I've asked the Board of Ed members to do that because that's a non-speaking role, right? But then I also would like to have someone take notes. Okay, because again, we want to make sure that we capture and catalog your responses or your input. So if you would like to volunteer to be the note taker, let's get that situated within the first couple of minutes of sitting at the table, and then we will go into our group discussion. There are some vetted questions that will be available and on the table, but you are not expected to get through all of them. If you can, that would be excellent. But if you cannot, we also understand, and you will have opportunity to continue to provide feedback throughout the process.
Así que la manera que vamos a hacer la discusión hoy es una discusión abierta, una conversación que queremos tener con ustedes. Así que queremos que todo el mundo se venga a sentar con uno o dos miembros de la Junta de Educación para que así puedan tener esa conversación con ellos de cómo mejorar las escuelas públicas. Lo que queremos hacer es que en cada mesa queremos tener un capitán o un jefe que pueda así dirigir la conversación y otra persona que escriba nota o sirva de secretario. Así que si establecen eso, 1 o 2 minutos después de sentarse en la mesa con el miembro de Junta de Educación que tienen, nos encantaría. Tenemos algunas preguntas que ya hemos formulado, pero si quieren hablar de otra cosa, bienvenida sea. Pueden hablar de lo que necesiten hablar.
So would you like for us to get started at the tables now? Okay. So if we don't want to we want you to self-select. You can come up, join the table. We see Mr. Rob Traber and Mr. Andre Woodson at table. We're going to call this table 1. Look at you guys. Table 2, we have Mr. Albert Grajales, Benaha Grajales. Table number 3, Ms. Jennifer Perez, board chair. Table number 4 will be Mr. Willie Medina. Table number 5 would be Mrs. Jimenez. Jamera Estremera Jimenez. And table number I'm sorry. And table number 6 would be Joseph Sokolovic. Did I get that right? Okay. Sokolovic or Sokolovic. So I'm going to ask all of you to come up to the front, select the table, and you don't have to sit with your friends. Yeah. I know, because some of you are going to go to the person that you know. So let's try not to do that. Sit with a stranger. Come come on to the front. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm good as you.
My wife, Jessica.
Oh.
They do need it.
So, we're gonna have table one go first. So if we can, give them our attention. So we have at table one, we're gonna have Nicole, who will be our speaker for this table. And we want to thank, Mr. Rob Traber for being the table captain and Dr. Monette Ferguson for being our note taker. And every one of you got one of these, so please fill it out for me and I'll come to your table and grab them. Nicole has the floor.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, so with question, oh, thank you. So with question one, what do you think a great school experience looks like? Um, we both felt that, it coincided with question five, so we're gonna skip that. Number two, biggest strengths for our schools and community. We feel like parents do care, right? Even when they do not show up on a regular basis to Board of Education meetings, they show up when it is time, right? So I use the example of the hiring process of a superintendent, right? That's when they show up in big numbers. If there is something some sort of challenge that poses as a threat to their children, they show up in big numbers, right? They show up when they feel that it is most important to show up, right? So for sure, that is one of the biggest strengths. Educators and teachers, they have a choice to teach here. And they can simply go to the next city, next town, and make tens of $1,000s more, and they decide still to stay here, okay, and provide education to our children, even when the resources are lacking. So for sure, our educators and our staff, support staff, for sure, is one of our biggest strengths here in this district. And there's a sense of community overall. Number three, biggest challenges, of course, lack of resources, which is the financial resources, both at the local level and at the state level. And that appears to be from those who have been educated here and who have been a product of Bridgeport Public Schools. That seems to be an historical problem. It's not a current problem, so it's an ongoing issue. So that is one. So, resources are a scarcity to our specialized populations. So we talk about general education, but we talk about students who require special needs like our neurodiverse populations and our multilingual, bilingual students and families. And what changes or improvements? Again, fiscal wellness, and fiscal responsibility, fiduciary responsibility and accountability of those finances and resources. Stability, there's a lack of stability within our district leadership. And I mentioned fiscal responsibility. Yep. And vision. So the vision, number five and number one, like we mentioned, coincide. So what is the vision for our students? Providing opportunity for post-secondary success once they leave Bridgeport Public Schools and pursue their dreams, whatever those dreams look like, whether it's trade school, whether it's college, right? But rigorous instruction needs to be implemented within the classroom to prepare students for college readiness and preparedness. Successful navigation to our parents and families. Transparency within leadership to parents and families. We mentioned rigorous instruction for college preparedness and readiness. And post-secondary success, collaboration with city leadership regarding fiduciary responsibility, both at the state and both at the city and state level. Proper allocation of resources. So when we talk about fiscal wellness, right? Again, proper allocation of those resources. Yes, ma'am.
All right, for number one, what do you think great school experience looks like for students, families, staff, and how do you feel Bridgeport Public Schools can better support the experience? I feel like we could be more welcome. Well, we felt like we could be more welcoming in our schools. We don't feel like all schools are so welcoming. We also would like to see.
He can't hear you. Turn to your side.
With the mic in your mouth.
I'm sorry. I thought you could hear me. We'd like the schools to be more welcoming. Also when we pick up our kids, we want our kids to talk about what they did in school more than what happened in school. We want more parent involvement all the time, not just when they're mad. Number two, what do you feel are the biggest strengths in our schools and our community that we should build upon is our teachers. I am not just a parent, but I also work in the schools, and I can tell you that we do have some really dedicated teachers that not only come out of pocket, but spend most of their time and their effort on our kids. Our guards, our guards are always overlooked, but our guards are the most trusted people in our building, if we like it or not. Regardless of how good a teacher is, our kids identify with our guards more than they identify with anybody else in our building. Because I personally think it's because they come from the same neighborhoods and the same communities, and we see each other in and outside of school. Another strength that we have is how multicultural we are, and I believe that we have a lot of multicultural nights throughout our buildings that are really successful. I think we should push for like a district one, something that like we can get more people in the room so that it'd be more collaborative on a positive note. Number three, what do you think are the biggest challenges and barriers in the district? Money is always number one, of course, and it's going to continue to be number one, but there's a lot of infighting on our Board of Ed. Educating our parents. Our parents are very unaware of what there is and what they can take advantage of in our district. And curriculum is another challenge that we can approach because I myself, my daughter is going to 5th grade, and in 6 years she hasn't had the same curriculum, if any curriculum. Number four, what challenges or improvements would you most like to see in our schools over the next 3 to 5 years? Again, curriculum. The superintendent, regardless of who our superintendent will be in our future, we'd like them to stick to that curriculum and not just come in and change everything like every superintendent does. And school equality, like we like to see uh every school in our district be more representative, other than just a few schools in our district be representative. And hopefully everybody can feel more, I guess maybe I should say all our decisions will feel more equal across the district. What number was that for? Number five, what is your vision for the students of Bridgeport Public Schools? And utilizing more schools like Aqua and trades. I think that's something we need to lean more towards. Teaching kids for the job market, taxes, interest rates and life skills, things that really are going to affect them positively throughout their lives, other than things that they don't feel like are going to be relevant in their future. Middle schools, we believe that our middle schools kids should be more aware of what our high schools have to offer, because there's many kids that I personally run into have no idea what they could have had. And by the time they graduated, they didn't know they could have went to school to be an electrician, or they didn't know that they could have came to Aqua and learned, a different, um, I don't know what word I would,
Program.
a different skill. So, other than that, I think that's where we left off.
Thank you. Thank you. Table number 2. We're going to go to table number 3, and we're going to ask Mr. Al Ramirez to report out on his tables responses to the questions. But we also want to thank Mr. Willie Medina for being a captain and Ms. Giselle for being a studious note taker. Al, the floor is yours. Do you have the microphone?
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Al Ramirez. Nice to see and meet all of you. So our first question and answers were teachers that have empathy and patience, comfortability, safe environment, relatability. Teachers state the environment, collecting a check, students to gain a why attitude, asking questions, like encourage the students to ask questions. Families should be respectful of the teachers. They have a hard job, but I gave an example. My mother was a teacher for over 35 years in the city of Bridgeport, and she was a tough mom and a tough teacher. And sometimes she'd get pushed back from certain parents, and sometimes those same parents would come back later on and say, you actually taught my son something or taught my daughter something. So just kind of really respecting the teachers and what they do. Their job is very difficult. Then also support them, hire more teachers that live in Bridgeport, and more teachers of color. You just learn more from people that look like you, that people have the same experiences as you, have the same backgrounds as you. So we thought that was very important. So number 2, hire teachers that can relate. And then we put diversity. So Bridgeport is a very diverse city. There's people from all different backgrounds, all different colors. And we think that that's a great asset to the city of Bridgeport. For us not all to be thinking in one way, one direction, one style. There's so many different attributes and different perspectives that diversity can give a school, a classroom. 3, what do you think are the biggest challenges or barriers? Funding, temporary subs. So there's a big problem with temporary subs. We feel that they should be for a certain amount of time, that they should get a permanent teacher. Is if you don't feel safe, you don't feel, I guess, attended to in a classroom, then you'll lose interest very easy. I was one of those kids. I lost interest very easy. It was very easy to lose my attention. And for a substitute, you kind of feel like there's just a body in the room, right? So I used to. It was a little trouble. Yeah, exactly. I used to goof off when the sub was there. I ain't doing my work today. Definitely not. So, but when you have a permanent teacher, or when the teacher comes back and they're like, well, the sub told me you didn't do this, and then you're like, oh, okay, you kind of straighten up a little bit. So definitely having some permanent teachers. And then again, teachers and principals that live in the community, and then ones that have real leadership. And then 4, the way adults lead and talk about the community in a negative way. That a lot of people have negative things to say about Bridgeport, our students, our teachers, and a lot of the teachers, administrators in their offices or in their coffee time talk, and maybe the kids hear them. If no one believes in us, how is it how can we expect you to believe in yourself? Right? So that's a huge one. Giselle, I think that was absolutely amazing. And then also I added for 4 financial literacy and entrepreneurial courses, classes. I think that it's something that's overlooked in schools, and then we're expected to know when we become adults, right? And we don't even know how money works. We don't know how to do this. We don't know how to start an IRA. We don't know how to start a business. We don't know entrepreneurial goals or aspirations. So I think that that's a huge thing. And then also I put exposure to trades. As many of you know, I'm in the Carpenters Union, and it changed my life. I wish I knew about it since I was in 8th grade. I think that exposing children as early as 8th grade to let them really see what the trades are about, see if that's a path that they want to go down, and maybe circle back when they're in high school, right? To say, maybe bring unions to the table or different trades to the table to show them that you can make a lot of money doing this. I built a great life for myself on it, so I'm a huge advocate for that. And then we have a mentor, so exposure to trades and mentor programs. So as we found out that there was a huge mentor program before in Bridgeport, and we really want to tap into that. There's a lot of individuals who are from Bridgeport who made it out, who made it to successful career paths. We'd love to hear them and have them come back and talk to our students to say, hey, this is what I did. This is a path you can go down, and I'll help you. I'm here to help. So that's great. And then 5,
I was thinking you were already on 5. You sound like you were telling us your vision just now.
I'm sorry.
Trade schools, mentors.
Yeah, so teachers need class management. They need to make sure they focus on class management, education to be top of the list, and help the students to achieve.
Thank you so much, Al. We really appreciate it. Round of applause. And for those of us who are of a certain age, we were excited when that cart got rolled out of the closet and our teacher was absent for the day because we already knew, right? Or if you get split up into the different classrooms and your best friend in the other class, Miss Kayla know what I'm talking about. We were in Dunbar together, so she knows. And going to that library, Miss Riccio. All right, speaking of table number 4. That's our table up here. We want to ask Bobby to speak. She will be reporting out for her group, but we would like to thank our captain, Miss Maritza, and our note taker, Sarah.
So we are table number 4. Pretty much everything that everyone has said, we've touched on as well, but I'll just list what our team came up with. So one of the things that we talked about for question number 1 is rigorous curriculum. We feel that the current curriculum is over reliance on online programs and apps such as math and literacy. So our students have way too much screen time, not enough in-person and one-to-one teaching. Baseline staffing level, we need to set a support system. Yes, ladies?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Let me
Yes.
say it, yeah. The district needs to establish the floor of staffing at every school that they refuse to go under. Because without that, anything and everything is up for cutting.
Can we clarify staffing is not subs?
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
I didn't get there yet.
Certified
Yes.
Qualified teacher.
Yes.
If you guys mention subs one more time, I'm gonna be hungry.
Yes.
The wrong sub.
We've acknowledged that there's a performance index and dropping too much screen time. I've also mentioned better assessment for ESL students. They need needs rather than overburdening sped students. Yes. Okay.
Overburdening
Yes.
sped classrooms because they don't have special needs. They just can't read another
Correct.
language. So there's an over reliance of identifying students that speak a second language.
Yes.
Rather than
special. Yes. For number 2, we talked about diversity and culture is 2 things that we believe is Bridgeport's biggest strengths for our community, diversity and culture. For number 3, we talked about pack structure. It doesn't work. Parents should feel more independent, and when they organize their events, shouldn't feel like a watchful eye. They should feel more engaged and be able to have the comfortability to talk about what is happening within their school and how they would like to see it improve. We talked about lack of communication, transparency for families, and from all levels within the district, there's a lack of transparency. And I believe we've mentioned that as well. Building connections and also realizing that there is intergenerational gaps amongst parenting, and there should be respect towards that because we're used to the OGs holding it down for the children. Now you have younger parents coming in, and what would fly with the older parent is not going to fly with them. So just realizing that, and then, not talking down to them as if they don't exist, because they do exist and they're the new parents. So having that respect for them. Funding, I'm going to let Sarah talk about the pilot part.
Yeah, so everyone has mentioned the funding challenges. One thing that I'll say is that there's an opportunity to relook at the pilot reimbursement formula so that it's a more equitable distribution between the 3 major cities / school districts of Connecticut, sorry. So that's Bridgeport, New Haven, and Hartford. There just needs to be more equitable reimbursement in the formula. So there needs to be political will behind advocating for that.
Correct. And making sure that, there's accountability on that side of the house. Number 4, we talked about some of the challenges and improvements is 1, more certified teachers, which as everyone has mentioned. School spirit, while we're excited about the new Bassett school coming up, there are a lot of schools that can, schools bring about school spirit. So if the building doesn't look appropriate, the kids don't feel like it's, something that they want to be a part of. So school spirit is so important. Beautifying the schools, extracurricular activities. Whenever funding happens, the first thing to go are the programs that are impacting the kids the most. That student who only comes to school because they're excited about math or they're excited about a mentoring program that's in their school. When you take those things out, you don't benefit the student wanting to be involved in the school setting. So not even just that, we're talking about languages, we're talking about sports, we're talking about just for the record, our team was a very interactive table. So everyone had something to say, and there's a lot more that could be added, but all of those, yes, and we're multi-generational, as you can see. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Yes. So languages, sports, and etc. We talked about the state surplus as well. Yes. The 4 billion state.
Oh, the rainy day fund.
The rainy day fund, yes. So yes. So if I could just sum up what our ladies talked about as for what a vision for students of Bridgeport would look like, I would say it would look like community. And I think sometimes we forget the empowerment and the impactful part of community. And when we leave out certain parts to the foundation, it always falls. So we have been in this pointing the finger, but let's just do community work, because our kids will become community leaders. They will become voters. They will become teachers and staff members within the community. So if you're talking about vision, you're talking about the most important parts, which is the community that they are a part of. And that is the school community that we are all responsible for, intergenerational and all. Thank you.
Here. Thank you, Miss Bobby. I met Miss Bobby when she was a student at Harding High School. And we are still engaging with each other to this day. So talk about that intergenerational. We love it. Did you have something else to add, Miss Sarah? Oh, okay.
Put it there in a second. Sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. Okay, table number 5. You are the last one, but definitely not the least, okay? So we want to have Joe, we want to thank Joe for being our table captain, Miss Kayla Medina for being our note taker, and we're going to have Mr. Isaiah with the Z, not an S. That's why you wrote it like that, right? For me to, okay. Speak and let us know what his group spoke about. Thank you, Isaiah. Do you need the microphone or you have it already? Okay. There you go.
Thank you. How are you? Good. Thanks for asking. Just because I do not believe in wasting anyone's time, we all have the same vision for our schools. But one of the things that we mentioned over here that I have not heard mentioned yet is that we want our students to feel comfortable and reading proficiently. So I'm going to start at number 5 and then work my way up to number 1. We want to see our students reading proficiently, working with other students and being well-rounded individuals that can operate in not just corporate America, but in any part of America they decide to go into. And because we want that, we had to focus on the funding that goes into our schools and into our students, because funding allows for better technology, better books, even better teachers. All of that becomes better, and all of that will lead to us establishing a great sense of community and pride in our schools that will lead to us having better students, better communities, and even just having a better city. All right, I'm good.
Bye. I was about.
Don't do that.
Thank you for summing that up, because I got a little nervous. I was about to give them more index cards, but I said, I don't know if we had that much time tonight. But thank you again. As you can see, there were some commonalities amongst all tables, and that lets us know that as a community, we are concerned. As a community, we do care.
Yes.
Oh, microphone.
You need to use the microphone.
And here I was thinking I was using it. Again, thank you all for coming out tonight. I really want to just express really quickly how proud I am of everyone who showed up, but also contributed to the discussion, because believe it or not, it does matter. We've been doing this for years. We have created documents. We have advocated at the state and the local level for certain things to occur. And we are hoping that as the conversations, the forums continue throughout the month of July. I would like to say the next one is July 16th. So please, again, invite other family, other friends, if you would like to come back out. And
So I'll finish that part if you want.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have 3 additional forums this month. July 16th, which is next Wednesday. We're going to post that tomorrow, but it's gonna be at Blackham School. And then the last week of the month, we're gonna have 2. So the 30th and 31st. One will be at JFK and one will be at the Dunbar area, whether it's Dunbar or the Raphael Taylor, we still have to establish location. We will post those with times within the next couple of weeks, so that everybody, we want to get that message out sooner than later. So please invite other people like who you think would have great input. We can't do this work without you. So, you know, we can write a vision, but if we don't include the community, it means nothing. There will be interpretation at the forums, at the future forums as well. Times to be determined. So we're looking at different times. Those schools that I announced have lighthouse programs. So we're looking to engage the families there. And if that means we do it a little bit earlier while they're picking up the kids, or we're going to kind of, if you guys have ideas, share them with us on times. It's 6 o'clock. You think it works? You know, we can definitely do that time as well. But we're kind of asking around input from community members if an earlier time might work better when they pick up from Lighthouse. So yeah, so I just want to thank you all for coming. I know we only gave you guys a week notice on this, and you guys showed up, so I appreciate that. On behalf of the board, I just want to thank you all for coming.
And if I can just ask just really quickly to close up some of the table conversations, if you have any additional information that you want the district or the Board of Ed to have so that they can continue to build from this conversation, please, you can give it to me. I'll make sure it goes with your table and gets included to the board. So thank you for your time and your patience.
Thank you all.